Right, so before I started recording, I started going over the answers, so I'm just going to read them off relatively quickly. 1 is -7. 2, x is 3, y is -1. 3, it's 8.75 months. Can't really have 0.75 a month, so it's 9 months. Number 4 is 2. Number 5 is y equals -4x plus 11. -4 is the slope, 11 is the y-intercept. Number 6 is y equals -2x plus 9. Okay, -2x and 9. Shh. Number 7 is b. Number 7 is b. Number 8 is no, you would get a negative amount at your job. No, you can't work negative hours. Okay, can't work negative hours. Can't have a negative amount at your job. Okay. Number 9, A is 3/2, B is -1/2, C is 6. Number 10, X is 0, Y is 2, B, X is 3, Y is 8, and C, M is 3, N is 1/2. Number 11 is 3x plus 11. Number 11b is y equals -1x plus 3. C is y equals 3/12x plus 1/3. And D is y equals -3/2 x plus 11/2. Is there any on here specifically that you would like me to go over? You were confused about, you got the wrong answer, I got a different answer than you. I might have had the wrong answer. Any of these you want to go over? Because otherwise I'm going to move to day 2 because I think that was a little more difficult. Okay, I'm going to move to day 2. Those of you who are on your phones, remember your exam is 20% of your grade. So I think more you should be worried about making sure you know how to do all the skills, less about what each percent of each question would be. All right. So A, I got x equals -3 for number 1. X equals -3. For B, I got the vertical asymptote is x equals -8, and the horizontal asymptote is y equals 1. For C, I ended up getting x equals 4.5. 4.5. Because I just plugged in 0.6 for y and then solved. Okay. Number 2, this is kind of small, but the zeros is -1. Vertical asymptote is -4. Horizontal asymptote is y equals 2/3. There is no oblique. The removable discontinuity is 2. The end behavior is x approaches infinity, y approaches 2/3. As x approaches -infinity, y approaches 2/3. And your discontinuity is 2 and -4. For B, my 0 is -2. My vertical asymptote is 3 and 1, x equals 3 and x equals 1. My horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. I have no oblique asymptote. I have no removable discontinuity. My discontinuity is 3 and 1. And my end behavior is x approaches infinity, y approaches 0. As x approaches -infinity, y approaches 0. Number 3 is f of x equals 5 times x plus 3 times x minus 6 over 1 times x plus 5 times x minus 4. Number 4, this is my sketch down here. This is my sketch down here. Okay, number 5, I get 3 times x plus 2 plus 1 squared. Over x minus 2 times x plus 5, 3 times x plus 1 squared over x minus 2 times x plus 5. Okay, and then the second half of day 2, I have all written on paper, so you can see all my work. Number 1 is 5 over y minus 7, 5 over y minus 7. 2 is x plus 2 over x minus 1 times x plus 1. 3 is x squared minus 13x minus 6 over x minus 3 times x plus 3. 4 is negative 6b minus 1 over 2b plus 1. 5, I just end up getting x minus 5. 6, I get 3y minus 1 times 15y squared over 5y minus 2y minus 5. And I see another way. I can simplify this to 3y times 3y minus 1 over 2y minus 5. So you can simplify it more. Okay. Number 7, I get 1. Number 7, I get 1. Number 8, I get 36x to the 8th over 5a y to the 4th. 36x to the 8th over 5y a to the 4th. Number 9, I get x squared over 4z squared. X squared over 4z squared. Number 10, you can leave it either way, but I would leave it as x plus 7 times x plus 7 over x plus 6 times x plus 6. You could do it as x squared plus 14x plus 49 over x squared plus 12x plus 36, but it's more simplified if you factor it out. Number 11 is 1 over p. Number 11 is 1 over p. Number 12 is 5a minus 5 over 4 times a minus 9. 13 is 4y squared times x minus 7. 4y squared times x minus 7. Number 14 is 3x minus 5 over 2. 3x minus 5 over 2. Shh. 15 is 3 over 2y times y plus 9. 3 over 2y times y plus 9. Number 16 is 42x squared plus 337x minus 25 over 7x minus 5 times x plus 4. Number 17 is 2x times 17x plus 15 over 2x plus 3 times 5x plus 5. Number 18 is 3x squared plus 16x plus 8 over 6x to the 3rd plus 24x. Number 19 is 2 times 5n plus 28 over 3 times n plus 8. Shh. Number 20 is 7n squared plus 8n minus 41 over n minus 7 times n plus 1. 21 is n minus 9 over n plus 5. N minus 9 over n plus 5. And then we're doing the classifications. For 22, the zeros are 5 and negative 1. Vertical asymptote is x equals negative 2. Horizontal asymptotes are none. Oblique asymptote, please don't talk while I'm trying to go over this, gentlemen. Oblique asymptote is y equals negative 3x minus 6. Removable discontinuity is none. Discontinuity is 5, negative 1, and negative 2. As x approaches infinity, y approaches infinity. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches negative infinity. Number 23, zeros are negative 1 and 5. Vertical asymptote is none. Horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. Oblique is none. Removable discontinuity is none. Discontinuity is none. As x approaches infinity, y approaches negative infinity. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches infinity. Number 24, there are no zeros. Vertical asymptote is x equals 1. Horizontal asymptote, y equals 0. Oblique asymptote, none. Removable discontinuity, none. Discontinuity, x equals 1. And end behavior is x approaches infinity, y approaches 0. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches 0. Number 25, zeros are negative 6 and negative 4. Y-intercept is x equals 3. Horizontal asymptote, none. Oblique asymptote, y equals x plus 16. Removable discontinuity, x equals 1. Discontinuity, 3 and 1. End behavior is x approaches infinity, y approaches 0. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches 0. 26. There are no zeros. There are no vertical asymptotes, no horizontal asymptotes, no oblique asymptotes. Removable discontinuity is 9 and negative 7. Discontinuity is 9 and negative 7. As x approaches infinity, y approaches 6. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches 6. Number 27, the zeros are 0, 2, and negative 4. Vertical asymptotes are x equals 2 and x equals 2/3. Horizontal asymptote is none. Oblique asymptote is none. Removable discontinuity is none. And discontinuity is none. As x approaches infinity, y approaches negative infinity. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches negative infinity. Number 28. The zeros are 2.4 and negative 0.41. You had to use the quadratic formula to do this one. Vertical asymptotes are 2, x equals 2. Horizontal asymptote, none. Oblique asymptote, y equals x. Removable discontinuity, none. Discontinuity, 2. As x approaches infinity, y approaches infinity. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches negative infinity. Number 29. Zeros are 2 and negative 2. Vertical asymptotes are none. Horizontal asymptotes are y equals 5/3. Oblique asymptotes are none. Removable discontinuity, none. Discontinuity, none. End behavior, as x approaches infinity, y approaches 5/3. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches 5/3. Number 30, zeros are none. Vertical asymptotes are x equals negative 3. Horizontal asymptotes is y equals 0. Oblique asymptotes is none. Removable discontinuity is 1/2. Discontinuity is 1/2 and negative 3. End behavior, as x approaches infinity, y approaches 0. Shh, I'm almost done. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches 0. 31, z is the square root of 15. You could have a decimal there if you wanted. Vertical asymptote is x equals the square root of 5. Again, decimal if you wanted. Horizontal asymptote is y equals 3/25. Oblique asymptote, none. Removable discontinuity, none. Discontinuity, square root of 5. As x approaches infinity, y approaches 3/25. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches 3/25. 32, zeros are negative 1. Vertical asymptote, x equals 1. Horizontal asymptote, y equals negative 3/4. Oblique asymptote, none. Removable discontinuity, x equals negative 1. Discontinuity, negative 1 and 1. As x approaches infinity, y approaches negative 3/4. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches negative 3/4. Finally, 33. 0 is x equals 2. Vertical asymptote, x equals negative 1. Horizontal asymptote, y equals negative 1/4. Oblique asymptote, none. Removable discontinuity, x equals negative 3. Discontinuity, negative 3, negative 1. As x approaches infinity, y approaches negative 1. As x approaches negative infinity, y approaches negative 1/4. Okay, so there was a lot on there. I know some of you might have missed it. Remember, I am recording this. Is there any of these problems you would like to look over? Obviously, day 2 has the most stuff in it, okay? That means it's going to be a lot of your exam, okay? This day 2 is going to be a lot of your exam. Any of these that you would want me to go over in more detail? There's not one problem.
The whole thing.
I can't go over the whole thing, but I could go over one individual problem if you have it.
I literally missed baseball practice to finish that last night.
Oh, good. Because it's going to be most of your exam. Okay, remember that the multiple choice section is due on Tuesday, as well as any missing assignments. Okay, if you individually want to ask me about a specific problem, let me know. Tuesday, because there's no school Monday, Tuesday, the multiple choice section of this exam is due. Okay, so after day 2, it starts with 60 multiple choice questions. Okay, that's due on Tuesday, and any missing assignments that you have.